Flare grinding is the easiest way to obtain nether stars in Hypixel Skyblock. And what are nether stars used for? Well, I've been getting into tier 5 Kudra, and in order to open the loot chest at the end of the run, you need keys, and each of these keys costs 2 nether stars per. And considering these runs can be done in about 3 to 4 minutes per, you need a lot of nether stars. And while they are not impossible to get a ton of, it can be a little bit expensive, and the setup's a little bit weird as well. So that's why today, we are going to be buying a pretty good flare grinding setup. Now let me talk you through what you actually need in order to flare grind, and what flare grinding is. So I know there are a lot of newer players in my audience who may not understand anything that I'm saying right now. Flares are these things right here. It's just a group of 3 blazes that, what they call a mob. And what we do is you basically just fly around here, one-tapping all the flares, until eventually you spawn in a Vanquisher. Now this is locked behind a Hyperion and some pretty decent mage armor, but I'll get to that later. And as you can see, I got a Vanquisher. Now each of these things is going to give you 3 nether stars. You just kind of come over here to the center island, shoot it with a bow, and then just nuke it with a Hyperion. And each Vanquisher is 1.5 keys. Now I've been doing a whole lot of flare grinding. As you can see, I got a couple stacks of nether stars, but I haven't been doing it as efficiently as humanly possible. On the topic of efficiency, why is flare grinding the best? I mean, you can kill any old mob in the Crimson Isle to get nether stars. I mean, for instance, these things. Well, there is a reason. Yes, you can kill any mob, but the thing about flares is that since they are made up of 3 different blazes, if you use a Gauntlet of Contagion, the perk that it has allows you to kind of bug the game out, and it counts as 3 separate kills every time you kill one of these. And considering you can go around this entire ring right here and they respawn incredibly quickly, you can spawn a ton of Vanquishers. Also, other ways to up your efficiency are by getting a Kudra pet and Eman level 9, of which I have both. But now, onto the gear. What I'm currently using is just your average basic Hyperion, nothing super special about it, and some Aurora, which, I mean, this Aurora is alright. It's not perfect, and to be honest, you're able to do this in Storm, but I would highly recommend Aurora. And then I'm also using some Dominance Veteran equipment. And then of course, I'm also using a Sheep Pet. Now there are 2 different ways you can do this. One is by using a G-Drag, and one is by using a Sheep. You get significantly less damage with the Sheep Pet, but you get a whole lot more mana and mana regen, allowing you to farm it for longer. But you see, this gives you really good combat XP. So my end goal here is I want to be able to one-tap them infinitely with my Golden Dragon. And for that, we're going to need some pretty good gear. Now first of all, I am just going to go over to the banker and withdraw a bunch of money. Now I have been doing a little bit of Kudra grinding, and in the past couple days I made about 200 mil, so I'm not super concerned about spending money now, because, well, I can actually DPS in last phase just fine with a Tiger, so if I have to drain 500 mil, I'm completely fine with that. I can make more money. Before we spend an absurd amount of money on some rather minor upgrades, I'm trying to hit 30k by the end of the year. That's December to anybody who has ever sent a nerd emoji on Discord. I know you've done it, and I know you don't know what the month of December is, and I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe. Also, liking and commenting on this video would help a ton as well. Anyways, I love you. Bye. And first off, I just want to see how much a new Gauntlet of Contagion is going to hurt. Also, for anybody wondering how I search for attributes within EU, you just double click this thing right here. I'm assuming Mana Pool Mana Regen is going to be absolutely ridiculous, but I do kind of want to get it. And also, Mana Pool Mana Regen will just be really good in, well, absolutely everything, not just for flares. Okay, that's 180 mil for an equipment piece. I don't think we're going to do that. Mana Regeneration Vitality wouldn't be a horrible choice. Breeze Mana Regen might not either. Okay, after seeing that everything is really expensive, we're going to go with Mana Regen Vitality. It's good attributes, not perfect, but considering my second choice, Mana Regen Veteran, is nearly 80 mil, we're not going to do that. Then we also need a Mana Regen Implosion Bell, which I'm probably willing to spend up to about 50 mil on this to see if I can get Mana Pool Mana Regen. Although Mana Regen Veteran is actually really cheap on this. Okay, yeah, no, Mana Pool Mana Regen is actually really cheap on the Implosion Belt. I thought it would have been a whole lot more. We're just going to grab this for nearly 30 mil. Now, the next 2 pieces don't really matter what they are, so I've been told that the Gas Cloak is actually one of the cheaper options, so we're going to go with Gas Cloak and I believe Molten Necklace. Those are some of the cheaper ones for Mana Pool Mana Regen, so let's see what we can find. Okay, we may have to go search for regular Gas Cloaks, then people may not be selling the Vanquish version. This one for 39 mil, we'll take this. I can make it Vanquish myself. And lastly, we need a Magma Necklace. necklace, which this one is insanely cheap, 8.3 mil. So honestly, I think this Gauntlet of Contagion is just going to replace my old one. Actually, no, I need to put a different reforge on it, so we will keep my old one. Anyways, it's on to the Hex. Just chuck this in here, and we're going to be putting Glistening on these, because it gives a little bit more intelligence. And we also pop a Recom on, if the server will stop nuking itself for a second. Amazing, one piece done. All right, now for the Implosion Belt, we slap Glistening on there, as well as another Recom. And then we'll max these out in the Hex, but I don't think we're going to make them Vanquish quite yet, since I would like to fix the attributes before that. So I may be able to pick up some pretty cheap ones in just the regular versions. Again, Glistening and a Recom. Same thing here, and another Recom. So let's do a little bit of attribute fixing here. Alright, so I bought a bunch of attribute shards. Let's see what we can do with them. Alright, mana regeneration 5 on this one. I think the Gauntlet of Contagion is probably going to be the most expensive one to level up, so we're going to leave this at mana regen 5. I believe all of these should be a good deal cheaper. And mana regeneration 5 on the Implosion Belt, and there's the 5/5 God Roll Implosion Belt. And mana regen 5 on the Gas Cloak. And that is the Gas Cloak, looking all very nice and schmexy. And now for the last piece. Mana regen 5, and finally, Mana Pool, Mana Regeneration 5 on the necklace. Now we just need to make both of these Vanquished, and we should be well on our way. Okay, yeah, so turns out I can't make this Gas Cloak Vanquished, since, well, I need Gas Tier 5 in order to craft the Silver Fang. I'm Gas Tier 2. So I did put down an extra Gas minion that I do have, so we will have it in a couple days, because I cannot be bothered to grind the collection myself, but this may take a little bit. Anyways, I put a medium storage next to him. Hopefully we'll have this done soon. And honestly, why not? I'll just put a Hyper Catalyst in there because, screw it. I should have the Magma Necklace. It's just Enchanted Magma Cream and Nether Stars. 4 stacks of the Enchanted Magma Cream. Not too bad. Now if we put this in here, put this over here, and then this right here, we should have it. Why is it not crafting? Magma Cream collection. Is it, what collection is it in? Craft the Magma Necklace. I need Magma Cream 7. What? Luckily, I do actually have a T11 Magma Cube minion, so this shouldn't take too long. We'll just give it a little pin right here, and now we just need a storage. And storage has been acquired. And there are Magma Cubes slapping me. Fun. Well, I suppose this is about as good as we're going to get the setup, so I guess we do a little bit of flare grinding to test it out. So yeah, one thing, I want to see if I'm actually able to still one-tap flares if I take my enrichments off of mana, which hopefully with this new mana pool stuff, I should be able to. So I go to enrichments, enrichment swapper. I'm going to swap these to ferocity for Kudra, and hopefully I'm still going to be able to one-tap them. Let's do a little bit of the teleporting things, and yeah, I am able to one-tap them fairly easily as well. So yeah, no, I should be able to just keep my enrichments on ferocity now. But now the big test is, do I actually regen mana infinitely? From what it's looking like now, that would be a resounding yes. So let's see what this Vanquisher does. I'm just gonna spam mana into it, and we'll see how long it takes me to kill it, and how long is it gonna take to regen all this as well. So yeah, no, we're already back at full mana. It's been like a solid 5 seconds. That took no time at all. And great thing is that this flare setup, yeah, no, it's not just for flares. It's actually just for mage, like just generally all the time, overall everywhere. Yeah, no, I should just be able to farm flares infinitely now. Also, because this is generally used for just all mage stuff, I want to see what kind of DPS I'm actually doing with my Hyperion. Normally, I don't do a straight damage test or mage stuff, but I just want to see. So go over here, the zombie villager right here, and right click. 2.2 million. To put that in perspective, with my previous equipment, I believe I was doing around 1.8 million. I'll swap to my previous equipment real fast so I can get a good test. There we go, put that all on, and yeah, no, 1.8 million. I have upped my damage by 400k, which that is really good, actually. So I would say the setup was definitely worth it. Tad bit expensive, but definitely worth it. After spending nearly 300 mil and rendering my G-Drag essentially useless, I can now do flares a bit more efficiently. This was a good use of money.